Hey there, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and this video is compliments of Lainey Thompson. Yeah, I showed her something about number sense, and she's so smart. She picked up on it right away, but she also knew that if she didn't practice it, it wouldn't stick with her. She'd remember doing it, but not being able to do it again in the future. So she said, Mr. Lawrence, would you make a video? And I said, only because you asked. And I thought about that. I'm going to do this video on number sense involving percentages. But if you have an idea in math you never quite got, or something you're wondering about, and you'd like me to make a video, send me an email. I'd be more than happy to. I'd even do it over the summer for you if you don't remember factoring or something like that. Okay, there's some important concepts. Now, next school year, don't be asking me to send you videos on how to do your geometry homework. Those questions you got to direct to your geometry teacher because I'm going to be busy enough with my students, okay? But until next school year, I'm all yours. All right, so let's get down to this. What is 16% of 70? Now, some of you are going to go, well, I know, I just take 0.16 and I multiply by 7. Right, but that's how to do it. It's not why it works. See, we really have to start building number sense if we want to be successful at higher level math. And it's really a shame you guys don't already know how to do this. Maybe some of you do, but be that as may, let's pick it up now as an extra little mini lesson, and then you watch what happens. Your understanding of mathematics grows as your number sense grows. All right. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to consider, and see, normally I do this, I can do this really quick in my head. Like, let me see here, 7, 3.5, 10.5, 10.85, I think, is the right answer. Okay, and I did that without a calculator, but let's see if I'm right. We'll see if my mental math is any good. First thing I'm going to consider is what's 100% of 70? Well, of course, it's 70, right? Now I'm going to figure out 10%. And if you know that when you divide by 10, the decimal point moves one place to the left, 10% is 7. Now, why did I figure out 10%? Well, it's easy to do, and I know that 16 can be thought of as 10 plus 6. So I'm going to need a 10% right there, okay? Now, furthermore, 6 can be thought of as 5 plus 1. So instead of trying to figure out 16% of 70, I'm going to figure out 10% of 70. I'm going to figure out 5% of 70, which is really easy to do if you know 10%, and I'm going to figure out 1% of 70. And if those percentages add up to 16, then the answers to those percentages will add up to 16% of 70. Yeah, it's kind of cool that way. So I've got 10% of 70. Well, what's 5% of 70? Well, notice I'm not even considering the 70. I know that 10% is 7. 5 is half of 10. The answer here must be half of 7. 3.5. Okay? Now you're saying, Mr. Lawrence, I'd already be done with this problem. Yeah, but only because I'm explaining what's going on. See, I can do this stuff all the time because I practice it. So can you, as intelligent as you people are. All right, so now I need 1%. Some of you go, oh, I can't do that. Oh, sure you can. Oh, I have a mistake in my answer. Yeah, it's actually going to be 11.05, I think. Yeah, we'll check it out. Okay. All right, so 10%, 1% is 10% divided by 10. So I'm going to divide the 7 by 10 and get 0.7. So if 10% is 7, 5% is 3.5, and that's 7/10. There we go. It's going to be 11 and 2/10. Yep, just going to add them together. There we go. So my showing off didn't quite work, but you see how simple it is. I think of 16 as a 10, a 5, and a 1. I'm not thinking of 16 as a pure 16. My understanding of math is fluid. I can adapt the numbers to my situation. Now, I'm going to show you two ways to do this one. All right, 47% of 95. One way would be to get a 10, 4 tens, 1 5%, right? And then 2 1%. Right? Because this would be 40, this would be 5, and this would be 2. And if you add 45 and 2, you get 47. So let's do it that way, and I'll show you another way to think about it. All right, 95, oops, excuse me, that shouldn't say equal, that should say of Sorry about that. 100% of 95 is 95. 10% is 9.5. Now I need 4 10s, so 40% would be 4 of those. Well, look, there's 4 9s, so I'm at 36 on my head. But there's 4 halves. Well, 4 halves is 2. This must be 38. See, it's really simple, but you got to have a fluid understanding of mathematics. You can't be rigid in your understanding. Okay, so now there's 40%. Now I'm going to need a 5%. Well, what's half of $9.50? Well, I think it's going to be $4.75, right? Okay, and then 1% would be 95 cents. And I have 95 cents and 95 cents, and this is another fluid situation. Would you agree with me that 95 cents plus 95 cents is the same problem as $1 plus 90 cents? Yeah, it has to be. Look, this one went up a nickel and that one went down a nickel. Has to be the same problem. So why would I add this when I could add that and get $1.90? Okay, so anyway, getting ahead of myself here. 5% is 4 7/75, and then 1% is 95 cents. So 2% would be $1.80. No, $1.90. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay, $1.90. So I'm going to do a little addition here. 5, 6, carry the 1, 12, 13, 14, 44, and 65 hundredths. That's one really good way to do it. Okay? Another way to do it would be to find 50%. Okay? You could find 50% and then subtract 3%. Now, I'm not saying it'd be easier. I'm just trying to show you lots of different ways so that you can be fluid in your understanding. So, 50% is pretty easy. It'd be half of 95. Well, some of you will have trouble with that. Well, let's see here. 95. Let's see. 90 divided by 2 is 45. 100 divided by 2 is 50, of course. 95 is smack in the middle. I wonder what number is smack in the middle. I'm thinking 47.5. See, it's all about a number sense. Thinking about numbers in different ways. So, if 50% is 47.5, and then 1% is 95 cents, well, I need 3 95 cents, so that'll be what? 270, and then 15, is that right? I think that's right, 285. Oops, I wrote 8 there. 285, and so if I subtracted 285, I should end up with the same number. It sure looks like I'm going to, because that's going to be 45, but I'll have to borrow, so it'll be down to 44. Yeah, it looks like it's going to work out. All right, if it doesn't, I have a simple mistake, and I do apologize for it. All right, so let's see here. Why don't you try these two? Think about how you're going to think of 23, okay? Think about how you're going to think of 92. Or you could think about 100% and then find 8% of it and subtract, okay? So hopefully you're pausing the video, not just watching me. I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Hopefully you've tried it on your own. If you haven't, you're only cheating yourself. Well, 10% of 71 is 7 1/10. So 20% is going to be 14 2/10. All right. I don't need any 5%, so I'll just go right to 1%. And 1% will be 71 cents. So 3% would be 3 of those. And so I'm going to have a 3 and a 1 and a 2. It should be 16.33. 16 and 33 100ths if we did everything correctly. And there we go. Yes, it is. Okay, so now this one I'm going to do with subtraction, but you don't have to because I don't want to figure out 90%. It just gets kind of big. So I'm going to figure out 8%. So 10% first of all is 9. 5% would be half of 9 would be 4.5, right? Okay. 1% would be 90 cents or 9/10. And so 2% would be double that, which would be 1 8/10. So I need, I need 3%, silly me. No, not 2%, sorry about that. All right, 3% would be 2 7/10. Okay, so that means 8% would be the sum of 4.5 and 2 7/10, or 7 2/10. So if I did 90 minus 7, I'd be at 83. But then I'd have to take another 20 cents away. So I must be at 82 and 80 cents. So what I'm suggesting is that 92% of 90 is 82 and 8/10. Yep, and it sure is. Okay, so there's a couple quick examples for you. Now, one more thing, I'll show you how I use this. Like, it's really useful when you're going to figure out a tip. If your parents want to leave 18%, you could find a 10%, a 5%, and 3 1%. Add them together, and you'd be able to do the percentage. You guys are so smart, you could probably do it in your head in many cases. But I also use it when I set the grading scales for the test. I know that to get an A, you need 90%. To get a B, you need 80%. To get a C, you need 70%. And to get a D, you need 60%. Anything below that is considered failing. Okay, so I have a test worth 41 points. Well, 10% of 41 is 4 1/10. That means I can lose 4 1/10 points and still only go down maximum of 10%. So the lowest A would be 41 minus 4 1/10. Well, 41 minus 4 would be 37. But I have to take another dime away, so it's going to be 36. And taking a dime away leaves me with 9/10. So a 36 and 9/10 is the minimum A. Now, we don't really do 9/10, so essentially you need a 37 to get an A. But the actual number for 90% is 36 and 9/10. Now, from there, I can just subtract 4 1/10. And so to get a B, I only need 32 and 8/10. Again, I could take 1/10 away. And so what are we going to have there? 28 and 7/10. And I'm going to take another 4 1/10. And I'll get 24 and 6/10. And so my minimum percentages here, or minimum scores to get those percentages, are those numbers right there. And I do this all the time when I'm grading your tests. All right, that's the video. It's not required learning. This is not the spring break video. It's not the one with the 8 problems. So you can watch it and hopefully learn from it, but it's only to help you become a better math student. All right, Mr. Lawrence signing off. Good night, everybody.